What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. VP Tactical here, and today we are talking about the Holosun Hs403r. So a little unboxing, if you will. So obviously, I've already pulled this guy out of the box, but at least to show you, kind of kick things off, what it comes with. You got your little foam in there, silica packet. Comes with a lovely little cleaning cloth, so that way you don't damage the lens. Manual or an FAQ guide, and then there was an actual manual. I think I left that somewhere else in the house. There's a tall mount, which actually comes mounted on there, and man, do they put those screws on tight. That was actually quite difficult to get off. I tried using the included tool here and ended up switching over to a longer hand screwdriver with that same T10 torq-bit installed in it. And so pretty much what you get in the package, you got the optic itself, you've got a low mount, which is right here, your battery. Then you're going to have a battery tool for the door, which just pops on and off here, just slips right in there. Of course, like we talked about, your Allen wrench, your cleaning cloth, and your high mount. And so Hs403r, I wanted something that was going to ride atop the AP5 that I recently done some work to, and or SBR'd anyway, and was originally looking at some of the Aimpoints and a number of different optics, actually, heck, even some of the EOTechs as well. But I wanted something that was a little bit more cost effective, kind of see how this thing is, and I think it's actually got pretty good ratings. I think some folks have even called it the shame point because it's so close to the actual Aimpoint, I think T2 or T1. But anyway, it's actually a pretty interesting product. I've got a couple Holosuns, a 507C, a 510, and then now, of course, this Hs403r, which I love the rotary dial on it. Really cool. It's got these turrets, which you can either use a screwdriver to manipulate or just use the cap, which is actually built right in for the windage and elevation. And so pretty cool product, 2 MOA dot reticle, up to about $100,000 of battery life. It's saying it's on setting 6 and no higher. 12 different brightness settings, 2 of which are supposed to be night vision compatible, and then 10 which are supposed to be daylight. Parallax free, unlimited eye relief. Other than that, I mean, for what it's worth, this thing's pretty darn solid. It's not very heavy. It's got a coated lens on it, and then of course it is a aluminum body. And it's interesting. I actually started playing with it and see if we can get that red dot in the actual picture here. So this is actually on setting 2. So 1 and 2 are actually your night vision. You see, you can't, but it's actually on. And obviously we would expect that to be very, very dim. Even switching to a 3, we can't see the dot. 4, we see that it's lit up, but we're not seeing much. We get into a 5. Let's see if we can get to make out that dot on there. Yeah, really hard to see. Let me go into 6. See if we can get this to focus and all. 7, 8, 9, 10. Actually, we're on 11. I take that back. And then 12. And what's interesting is it's not picking it up, but there's a bit of, when I look at it through the lens, when I get it up on 12 and 11, they're really bright. Which fine for daylight, but I think you're getting a little bit of starbursting there. And for me, when I look at this, I'm going to turn this back down here for a second so I can look through it, because obviously the camera's not really doing a very good job of picking this up. But pretty much on a 5, you can see there's barely anything there. So for a low light situation, that might be okay. But pretty much 4 and 3 are, I guess, for lack of a better phrase, unless it's really dark out, non-existent. And then, of course, your 1 and 2. So, I mean, most likely if you're using night vision, 1 or 2, maybe 3 and 4, possibly. Obviously, you want to play with those. And your gear is going to make a big difference too. But for anything in daytime use, I mean, even 5 is pretty low. And not really till you get to 6, or 7 in this case, where you actually start to see something that's going to be a little bit better during the daylight hours itself. I mean, for what it's worth, like I said, you pick these things up around 150, 160 bucks, somewhere in that neighborhood. I had actually picked this up from Optics Force. They're certainly not paying me to make this video or mention them. That's just where I happened to grab it from. I saw they had a deal at the time. Otherwise, I've seen them on Amazon. Of course, you got to make sure you don't get a fake or anything of that sort. But for what it's worth, I mean, 150, 160 bucks. They're a pretty decent deal. And again, it even comes with this little bikini cover too. And this is going to be riding atop a MFI mount. I just lost my screw. But an MFI mount for my AP5. So, whenever you're working on your optics, I mean, obviously we spend money on the optics, even stuff that's, I guess, mid-grade, if you will, or even on the lower end of things. Don't cheap out on your mount. That's going to make one of the biggest differences as far as keeping zero and everything else. So hopefully you like this video. I definitely appreciate the support. Hit that thumbs up, like it, subscribe, and stay tuned for more content. We got a lot more things coming. Thank you. Be safe and stay vigilant.